After independence, each of the Central Asian states has chosen its own path of economic and political development. At least, the integration into the international community was achieved by all countries except for one, the former Soviet Republic of Turkmenistan. The modern history of the state is divided into two epochs: the era of Saparmurat Niyazov, and declared himself the Turkmenbashi, the father of all Turkmen people, and the epoch of Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedow, who called himself the benefactor Arkadag. Both periods are united by two things: dictatorship and total isolation. Turkmenistan's isolations from the outside world and authoritarian form of government can be compared with North Korea. During the 3 decades of the presidency, none of the leaders go beyond the feudal-bai system of the country. The reform is based on the requirements of time and peace. The isolation of Turkmenistan, the poor economy and low standard of living, the result of authoritarian and nothing like the policy of both presidents. Saparmurat Niyazov built a solemn cult of himself with giant gilded statues in the country, took sole control of all politics and economy. His successor, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedow, adopted both the cult of personality and the dictatorship, replacing only the personality in the cult with himself. The gold-plated statues of Niyazov were also replaced by monuments to Berdimuhamedow, also gilded. The new president has adjusted the main sectors of the economy, from industry and mining to the entertainment industry. The government of the country, unlike Turkmenbashi, was divided among his large family. The personal policy in Turkmenistan is based on family ties and loyalty to the president, not on professionalism. The country regularly hosts a total personal sweep. According to journalist estimates, about 80 relatives hold various leadership positions in the country. They control culture, business, import and export, the supply of food and medicines. The government, which is unable to cope with functions, has made Turkmenistan a weak state, both externally and internally. The corruption is widespread. All opponents, under fear of punishment, were forced to leave. There is no freedom of speech in the country. There are only government-controlled media. The internet is almost unavailable. According to the resource Internet World Stats, access to the internet in 2017 was only 70.9%. The food deficit has led to the fact that bread, sugar, and sunflower oil are sold on passports, and in turn for flour recorded for the month ahead. In the summer of 2018, Professor Steve Hanke of the American Johns Hopkins University estimated that the rate of inflation in Turkmenistan came in second place, 294% per year, outdone only to Venezuela. Today, the republic is on the verge of hyperinflation. The economic crisis has been going on the country for several years, and this is despite the fact that the republic is among the 3 largest in amount of natural gas reserves in the world and had the world's largest oil reserves. Their revenues are under the direct control of the presidential clan. Meanwhile, Turkmenistan is spending millions and sometimes billions of dollars on ideological programs, servicing the cult of the personality of the leaders and luxurious infrastructure. Grandiose construction projects are designed to create an external impression of prosperity and hide the deep poverty and despair of the majority of the population. The authorities' disregard for the people, penniless, unemployment, the collapse of education and health care system has sharply worsened living condition, which is reflected in the reduction of life expectancy. The 3 decades of dictatorship have killed the last hope in society. The people are silent and perceive everything that is happening with obedience, nurtured by power. In the long term, except the Berdimuhamedow's departure one way or another, there is no other way to achieve changes in the system and stop the dangerous spiral of decline. The regime will not improve on its own and over time. Instead, the longer it lasts, the worse it will be, and the more likely it that an isolated state will collapse under the weight of its own contradiction. Turkmenistan needs to change a regime and need a peaceful transit period impossible without the involvement of external forces.